In the heart of Thailand's Udon Thani province lies a forest so feared, locals won't dare step foot inside after sunset. A place where the veil between our world and the spirit world is terrifyingly thin. This is Kamchanet Forest, and tonight, we're going in. You see, Kamchanet isn't just any forest. It's an island, surrounded by water, accessible only by a single bridge. But this bridge isn't just a path over water. It's a gateway to another realm. According to legend, this is the earthly home of the Naga mythical serpent deities who live in a magnificent underwater kingdom. The bridge you cross is said to represent the body of a great Naga, and with every step, you're walking deeper into their sacred territory. The trees here are unique, called Kamchanet trees. They look like a strange mix of palm and coconut, and they grow nowhere else in Thailand. Locals believe these trees are not of our world, but are markers for the entrance to the Naga city, a city that exists in a parallel dimension, right beneath your feet. For generations, stories have been passed down. Stories of people who wandered into the forest and vanished without a trace. Stories of strange lights dancing among the trees at night, and eerie, otherworldly music echoing across the water. The most famous legend, however, is the one that gave the forest its chilling reputation. It's a story of a movie crew. Back in the day, a production company decided to film a ghost movie called Femai Kamchanet. They thought, what better place to shoot a ghost story than in a place that's already haunted? They were about to find out how big of a mistake that was. As they were filming a scene, they noticed something in the background of their shot, an extra figure they hadn't cast, standing silently among the trees. Thinking it was just a local who had wandered onto the set, they didn't pay it much mind and continued filming. It was only later, when they were reviewing the footage, that the true horror was revealed. The mysterious figure was there, clear as day. But when they zoomed in, they saw it had no feet. It was floating just above the ground. The crew was terrified. They showed the footage to the local villagers, who immediately recognized the apparition. It was, they said, a spirit of the forest, one of the many entities that guard the Naga's realm. The story gets even stranger. The film was released, and audiences across Thailand saw the ghostly figure for themselves. It became a national sensation. People flocked to Kamchanet, not just out of curiosity, but out of a morbid desire to see if they too could catch a glimpse of the supernatural. The film reel with the original footage mysteriously vanished, but the story lived on, forever cementing Kamchanet's status as one of Thailand's most haunted locations. But the floating spirit isn't the only thing to fear here. Visitors and locals alike report a constant feeling of being watched. They hear whispers in a language they can't understand, carried on the wind. Some have seen shadowy figures darting between the trees at the edge of their vision. Others have told tales of walking through the forest, only to find themselves completely disoriented, as if the path itself had changed, leading them in circles, deeper and deeper into the woods. One of the most sacred spots within the forest is a small well, known as the Nagas Well. The water is believed to be holy, a direct link to the underwater kingdom. People come here to make offerings, to pray for good fortune, and to ask for protection from the Naga. But you must be respectful. It's said that if you take anything from the forest, a leaf, a stone, even a drop of water from the well without permission, you will be cursed. Misfortune will follow you until you return what you stole. There are countless tales of tourists who scoffed at these warnings. One man allegedly took a piece of bark from a kamchan tree as a souvenir. For weeks after he returned home, he was plagued by terrible nightmares. He saw serpents in his sleep, felt a crushing weight on his chest, and heard a constant hissing sound. His health declined rapidly. Desperate, he traveled all the way back to Udon Thani to return the piece of bark and beg for forgiveness at the Nagas Well. Only then did the terrifying events stop. Even during the day, the atmosphere in Kamchandi is thick and heavy. The air is still, and the silence is broken only by the chirping of insects and the rustling of leaves. But it's a deceptive calm. The locals will tell you that the spirits are always there, always watching. They are most active at night, which is why the forest is strictly closed to the public after dusk. No one, not even the temple monks who care for the site, stays on the island after the sun goes down. They know what happens when the boundary between worlds weakens. They've heard the stories of the night market, a tale told by a lone traveler who got lost and found himself in the forest after dark. He said he stumbled upon a bustling market, filled with people in traditional dress, selling strange fruits and exotic goods he had never seen before. The people were friendly, but there was something odd about them. Their eyes seemed to glow faintly in the dark. He bought some food, and as he was leaving, one of the vendors warned him to finish it before the sun rose. Confused but tired, he found his way out of the forest and fell asleep. When he awoke, the delicious food he had bought had turned to dust and dried leaves. The villagers later told him he had stumbled into a ghost market, a place where spirits trade amongst themselves, a place no living person should ever see. Another terrifying encounter involves a group of friends who decided to test the legends. They hid in the forest, waiting for nightfall. As darkness enveloped the island, the temperature dropped suddenly. They began to hear the sound of traditional Thai music, but there was no band, no speakers, nothing. It seemed to be coming from all around them, and from beneath the ground. Then, they saw them. Faint, luminous figures began to emerge from behind the trees, moving gracefully as if dancing to the unearthly music. Frozen in fear, the friends watched as more and more spirits appeared, forming a ghostly procession. They didn't run. They couldn't. They were paralyzed by a fear so primal, it rooted them to the spot. It was only when one of the spirits turned its head, its empty eye sockets fixing on them, that they broke free and fled, screaming, back across the bridge to the world of the living. They never spoke of the full details of what they saw, but they were changed forever. These aren't just campfire stories. For the people who live near Kamchanud, this is a part of their reality. They have a deep-seated respect and fear for this place. They believe that the Naga are powerful beings who can bring both rain and prosperity, or floods and disaster. The spirits are their guardians, and angering them is a risk no one is willing to take. At the center of the island, there's a shrine dedicated to the two main Naga patrons of the area, Pusri Suto and Yasri Patuma. It's constantly surrounded by offerings of flowers, incense, and intricate Naga statues. People pray for everything from winning lottery numbers to good health. It's a place of immense spiritual energy. You can feel it the moment you step near it, a buzzing electric feeling that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Some sensitives claim they can hear the Naga communicating not in words but in feelings and images. So, is Kamchanud Forest truly a gateway to another world? Are the stories of floating ghosts, phantom markets, and vengeful spirits real? Thousands of witnesses and generations of local beliefs say yes. It's a place where myth and reality blur, where science can't explain the eerie feeling of being an intruder in an ancient, sacred world. Next time you see a strange, unexplainable figure in the background of a video, maybe don't just dismiss it. It could be a glimpse into a world that exists just alongside our own. A world like the one hidden within Kamchanud Forest. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of Thai folklore. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. Stay safe and stay curious.